at the Grand Canyon on our Griswold road trip from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way to California. Love driving into the Grand Canyon. One thing about road tripping is we only had like one day pretty much in each of these places, and I would really love to spend more time next time we road trip across the U.S. in the Grand Canyon. Brooke, of course, loved the squirrels. The very, very, very friendly, and just looking for a handout at every turn. And the views are spectacular. This is the actual view from the Griswold Vacation Movie and the Tovar Lodge from the Griswold Vacation Movie. So we, of course, had to go into the lodge, take a look around, do some shopping. We also just had a little drink and we played a game of Sorry upstairs in the kind of overhead lobby. And of course we had to reenact the scene of taking the money out of the cash register from the original Griswold movie and drive away. One other thing about the Grand Canyon, we stayed there in one of the lodges, is just the amount of nature that you can see with the kids. Just if you look around, we saw this, I don't even know what it is, like a little mouse or mole, deer and everything else. From there we drove over to Snowcaps, which is in historic Route 66. It's one of these little niche kind of snack shops, ice cream parlors on the side of the road. It's kind of the beginning of where the Cars Pixar movie idea came from on this piece of Route 66.
I don't know what that is.
You want an ice cream cone?
I know I want a cup.
Just a cup?
No. That's easy.
Oh, there you go.
Want a half a spoon or a whole spoon?
Maybe not.
Any color.
The fun thing is just Amber getting her ice cream, just having fun at the ice cream store and just having a great time. These are the kind of memories that we really enjoy, just meeting people, just getting into the experience and just enjoying the road trip. So this is the part of historic Route 66. Just down the street is the barber shop and the gift shop.
I will get you written information on it.
Is there hair stuck to this?
We don't know what maybe stuck to that, but
No?
in the 1970s, I-40 bypassed this town. Now at that time, this was the barber shop, that was the pool hall. Angel's the barber. Not only did it bypass this town, they did not put our name on the highway signs. Then to top it off, they decommissioned Route 66. So now we don't have a Route 66. They changed it back to Chino Avenue. So Angel the barber petitioned the state. Took him 10 years to finally get that made the first National Historic Highway. Then they hadn't done any work on it for 10 years. They had to come and repave the whole thing. Sound like the Cars movie?
I'm picturing it.
Guess what? You're in Radiator Springs.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now, not only that, Angel started the Route 66 Association right in this building. People wanted hats and t-shirts. He had the first hats and t-shirts made up, laid them on the pool tables, and started selling Route 66 hats and t-shirts.
How'd they go over?
Good.
Okay.
You see, 27 years later, what has happened? And then in 2001, John Lasseter came here, interviewed Angel right here in the barber chair, and that's how he got the storyline for the Cars movie.
Awesome.
Yes, so you are in Radiator Springs.
It's a good movie. Remember the Cars movie?
Now, I do happen to have one of those left. Why we are Radiator Springs, and I'll try to get some of our...
Being Main Street of America, historic Route 66 has been overlooked by Americans ever since they built the 40. But originally, of course, it was the only way to get from Chicago to California. So, which is why all that stuff was covered in the movie. But the really interesting thing about Route 66 is, while Americans love to go to Germany and drive on the Autobahn because it's their big deal, Germans love to come to America, and French and Italians come here to drive on this road. So it's a big deal. So they have entire They have entire clubs and organizations and associations in Europe whose entire business is promoting and booking tours to America to drive on Route 66. And when you've done it and you've completed the tour, you get a patch to weld on, to sew on your vest, or a sticker that goes on your car. And if you you stopped at Hackberry, didn't you?
I don't think so.
To get here, how'd you get here?
Well, we were on the Grand Canyon and we came down and then hit 40 and then went west.
Oh, so you haven't done all of Route 66?
No.
Oh, see, this is the hump. This is where Peach Springs is. This is where Radiator Springs is. The whole reason the actual movie takes place between here and Kingman. In other words, all the stuff that went on took place between here and Kingman, because it's the part of the Route 66 that was the most bypassed. And the reason for that is it's the hump. In other words, Route 66 goes along and then there's a hump, and they cut it off with the 40.
Okay.
So the hump is where
Just like in the
Valentine
movie.
is, just exactly like in the movie. So that's why it takes place between Kingman and Seligman. But if you, instead of getting on the 40 right here, turn around and just go down this way. Take the 66 to Kingman, unless you can't, because then you get to go past the Grand Canyon Caverns. You'll go past, the mountains that were the hoods and the fenders in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the mountains on the other side of Valentine. They actually exist. And all the little rundown buildings are in Peach Springs, which is where the town got its name. Instead of calling it Peach Springs, they call it Radiator Springs. But it's all this way. And then you hit Kingman, and that's where everything else is that was in the movie. So it's really neat to do it and do the trip and take the ride, because then you get to see all the old buildings and all the stuff that's missing and torn down. And of course it goes all the way out to Oatman and stuff. And that's what our fun run is. The fun run we do every year starts here and goes all the way to the California border on Route 66. But this is the longest stretch of Route 66, this stretch here that goes all the way to California.
We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, so that's,
It's funny that you mention Europeans and such. We, over in Texas, the Big Texan, we met up with a TV crew from
Right.
China,
Uh-huh.
and spent 2 days filming with them.
Yeah.
And it was exploring Route 66
Yeah.
that they were doing, and all kinds of weird things. And they invited us to join them, and we had the Big Texan, and he did
Lizzie's place
Contest
is
with that.
in Hackberry. Lizzie's store,
Yeah.
with the Tin Lizzie's
Yep.
little store from the movie,
Yep.
it's in Hackberry.
Oh, cool.
So, you'll see it. You can't miss it. The
We
pumps
have
are
to.
there, and the little worn out building, and the Tin Lizzie's there. There's a red Corvette sitting out in front. So, it's all, like I said. See, here's one. Here's one. This is a sticker from a European group that came here, and this is how you prove you've been on it. Here's another one. This is the motorcycle one. If you keep looking, you'll see them.
We're on this one over here.
Here's some on here. But you'll see all these little foreign Route 66. These are the groups, these are groups that come all the way from Europe just to ride on Route 66. And it's a battle club, Germany, pre-50. Here's one, well, there's the Missouri one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can actually see the ones that actually say,
See here. Get your kicks on Route 66 from it.
yeah,